Our spotlight, we put the spotlight today, our training camp spotlight, on third-round draft pick Devin Singletary. The player spotlight was on Devin Singletary today, the running back, third-rounder from FAU. Watched him. You see the things you're looking for, right? There was a period 4. The Bills in some red zone teamwork there, Steve. And I saw Devin Singletary with the run to the left side, got a great lead block from his fullback, Pat DeMarco. But Tremaine Edmonds blew it up. Now, Edmonds is a pretty good player, but he blew it up as he ran around the left side. A little bit later on, another run from Devin Singletary, this time as the lone setback, 2 tight ends. He had nowhere to go. And Brownie talked about this. We saw it, too. There were not the holes that the Bills had in the run game offensively yesterday. Singletary, though, a little bit later, had a good, quick step in the backfield, kind of a stutter step, and then got around the right side. It was a good day, and it's been a good camp for Devin Singletary. You're getting what you see. I have a couple of drawbacks I'd like to mention, but I want to hear what you say first about Devin Singletary.
Yeah, you're right. And the one, he did have a highlight run today. I mean, you heard Chris Brown earlier in the show refer to it. I mean, he came out, he got the handoff, and he made 2 defenders just whiff on him right in a tight space. And you know, you got to do that if you're an NFL back, and Devin Singletary's shown the ability to do it. He's got great vision. They're using him a little bit as a return guy, catching a few kicks. He's going to be able to contribute on special teams. I think he's starting to realize that. And to see some of the things, the reasons he was drafted, when he gets into a tight space with a guy on him, he can still get some extra yards and maybe come through scot-free. He's doing everything he should be doing as a third-round running back in this league. He's got some skills that are outstanding and some other things he's got to work on. I think one of the most things, you referred to it yesterday when we spoke, he's got to win against a linebacker in pass pro at least for a half second or so. He's got to bear up on linebackers in pass protection and win once in a while.
Well, and you said he's doing everything you're looking for. He's doing a lot.
Right.
But that's an image that I have embedded in my head, and it was a tough drill for the backs. All of them struggled a little bit. McCoy, Yeldon, Gore, maybe to a lesser extent, and Devin Singletary. And they had linebackers and defensive backs. It was one-on-one. It was like an O-line, D-line drill, a one-on-one blocking. And Singletary got lit up a couple of times, got pushed back. He's small. And the Bills said it when they drafted him. You know, we don't know what his contributions might be in the passing game. And if he's out there on a third down, he's got to be ready to, and you pointed out yesterday, identify where the blitz is coming from and take care of the blitzer, linebacker or defensive back. He doesn't have to plant that guy, but he has to be there and slow him down.
And here's why. Certainly, if you're going to put him in there in a passing situation at this point, he's going to have to go out for a pass. You're not going to leave him in. So,
I mean, you don't call on him to pass protect.
Right. You're not going to ask him to do that. And so that becomes predictable when he's on the field. He's either going to get the ball in the handoff or he's going to go out for a pass. They're not going to have him pass pro. That tells the defense some things. They can put some specific calls in their defensive game plan in certain situations down in distance where he's on the field and say, listen, we're going to send somebody off that edge because he's going to be gone. You know, we're going to cover him up. Nobody has to worry about getting picked up by him, so they know up front of him who's going to be blocking. So they become predictable. So you have to counter that as an offense. You have to move him around. You have to do certain things. When he's on the field, you're going to have to only ask him to do certain things. They can work around that lack of a skill set for him, but at some level, you're going to become predictable when he's on the field because of it. So that's something you have to fight against. But his gifts may outweigh that.
Yep.
His gifts, you know, I mean, you're not going to ask Alvin Kamara of the New Orleans Saints to pass block. You're sending him out and getting him the ball. That's the idea. Same thing with Devin Singletary. You may want the ball in his hands so badly, you're not going to ever ask him to pass pro. So if his gifts outweigh the deficiencies, you're perfectly willing to live with that, particularly if he can do all those things in an outstanding way, and then also say, hey, you know what? The kid can cover kicks. You know, the kid can cover punts for us. He can be on kickoff return. He can be an up back with that kind of thing. So his contributions have to outweigh those deficiencies.
Our player spotlight on third-round draft pick Devin Singletary, and head coach Sean McDermott was asked about him today. He had a lot of good things to say about the running back Devin Singletary. Here's McDermott.
Do you notice the quickness, instincts? He's an extremely humble young man, and you know, really takes to coaching well. which isn't always the case with young players these days, it seems. Really appreciate that about him, and I believe he's endeared himself to his teammates, which is important as well, just by the way he's approached the start to his NFL career.
I think Sean McDermott got in a jab at some of the other rookies. He takes to coaching well, which you can't say about everybody.
I noticed. I mentioned it earlier when Chris Brown was on. Some guys, you can't convince them, And a guy and that's when we were talking about Ed Oliver, how humble he is. When you get a player, a Kyle Williams, a 5-time Pro Bowler, coming up saying something to you, even the most arrogant rookie will sit there and say, "Oh, yeah, yes, sir." You know what I mean?
Yeah. As they should.
As they should. Well, they should do it for coaches too, but not all of them do.
Yeah.
It's a weird phenomenon, Murph.
Yeah. 6 practices in. I think it's all good for Devin Singletary. A lot of room to grow, a lot of work to come. Steve said it. We've noticed it. I think almost inferentially you can hear Sean McDermott acknowledge that. Room to grow, stuff to work on, but he says he's coachable, and that's a good thing for a third-round draft pick. That's our player spotlight.